Hello everyone, this is day 44 of this video series that I'm doing, and today I'm going to be talking about my job or my workplace being my battlefield. And what I mean by that is no, not because I'm on technically the front lines, delivering food to people. I make it sound like a much more valiant job than it actually is. That is not the battlefield that I'm talking about, the disease and sickness field. Instead, I'm talking about socializing, because that is obviously a more important issue than a global pandemic. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that, but I have been inciting, I guess, my own tiny little battle within my tiny little workplace of a supermarket, and that is basically just trying to socialize with different people and being able to make friends with anyone who I choose, and basically growing a pair of balls so that I can go out there and socialize with anyone I wish to and be able to say the stuff that I want to say instead of like being an unconfident person. And let's just say, yeah, these holidays I've made some pretty good strides towards that. I have grown a pair, no matter how small a pair of balls they are. I don't like where this analogy is going, but I'll continue anyway. These small balls, that have grown, that I've nurtured, that I've cultivated, they're getting a bit bigger, and I'm glad that it's happening. I have been able to talk to several of my colleagues these last few days, and that has been really fun. They're all really nice, and there was one person in particular that I wanted to talk to, and I got to talk to them. And yeah, she's cool. And yeah, now I think I have a bit more, I guess, I don't know if you'd call them friends yet, but we're like friendly to each other, and that's cool. Like when you can go and be like, good morning to someone instead of just walking straight past them, that's the type of relationship that I want to have with everyone that I work with. And because there's 300 people that work in the same place that I do, it's a bit tough. So I'm going to start small, start where I'm shopping, and then eventually I'll move out into conquering the entire store and all the separate departments, I guess, if I want to have those wild dreams. But yeah, today was pretty good. I want to be able to set myself a goal, actually, of every single shift I go in saying, today I'm going to say to a random person, hey, how's it going? But I just can't bring myself to say those few words because it sounds like, I don't know, just the act of asking how someone is doing, I've just never done that in my life. Like, I've just been like, good morning, and then walk past, and that's it. But instead of how's it going, it adds like a separate element to it, which I don't think I've fully adjusted to yet. And so when I utter those words from my mouth for the first time, you bet that I am going to be the most sociable person ever, because that's like the breakthrough point that I need to break past to break through my limits and learn. I've been watching too much or reading too much manhwa lately, but yeah, anyway, I just want to be able to push myself a bit more every single shift. So today, these last few days, I've been talking to one person pretty often, and she's also really nice. It's just sometimes it can be like a bit awkward, right? So I've been like, okay, admittedly, I have been trying to I tried to go a bit faster just so that I can finish earlier and then not have to talk. Because if you leave a conversation, because what happens in our workplace is that we brush past each other multiple times, but not one full time. So you might have little conversations here and there, and that's about all you can do before you have to before someone has to separate, because their shopping trolley, I guess, is longer than yours, so they'll take longer, so you'll finish it earlier, right? So those things happen. And so what tends to happen is that you finish a conversation with someone and then you see them again, and then you already ended the conversation on a good note. You're like, ha 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 ha, and then you go off and do your own thing, and then you get put into the same place, and then you have to somehow think of something new. And so it doesn't matter if I was trying to avoid it, I get forced into that position anyway. So what ended up happening is that we're either forced to just work together in silence, or I say something or she says something. And yeah, I mean, it worked out all right, I guess, in the end. We were able to come up with something like, you don't understand. Like, in my mind, I was like, okay, this thing, I gotta, like, oh wow, this cheese is really interesting. Maybe I should point that out. Like, just like some off note or off comment that I can do to at least like strike up a conversation, because conversation starters don't really come to me. And, you know, sometimes there's not always a conversation to be had, you know? Sometimes both of us are just wanting to do our job, but it's hard to discern between that awkwardness and stuff. And I like tricking myself into thinking that, oh, I enjoy bathing in this awkwardness, but no. It's pretty uncomfortable, and I don't know if she feels it too, or everyone else that I work with when we do have those conversations, but it sometimes happens and it's unavoidable. Today, actually, something really awkward happened. There were like 3 guys, right? Me and then two bystanders, and then one other guy that just came in to like the fridge section that we were working in. And this guy that came in, he's like a manager, and usually he doesn't shop with us. And so I pointed it out. I was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. I haven't seen you shop in a while. And basically what happened was that I said it too softly, and because the mask covers your voice, and so like it covers your mouth, so you have to speak like a certain degree higher for people to hear you, and he wasn't like that far away. He didn't hear me, but you know what was worse? Is because the 2 other people were closer to me, so they heard me. So I was just like alone. Like, no, the problem was that I wasn't alone. Like, if I was alone and no one heard but me, like, I could keep that to myself. But these other 2 people heard me actively make an attempt at a conversation and fail. So that was really funny. I ended up just like laughing awkwardly, like out of there. But yeah, I mean, good times, right? You win, you learn, I guess. You win or you learn, and this is just a learning experience. Speak louder next time. Speak audibly. Go big or go home, basically. Because I guess I was kind of in debate whether I should speak up or not say anything, and what my mind chose in that split second was to say something, but there was still that doubt, so I limited my voice, and that's the awkward situation that happened today. But other than that, you know, it's like, yeah, my workplace is pretty good. I'm going to continue socializing. This is my battlefield. I'm going to fight. Yes, I'm going to keep going, trying to socialize with people, maybe say how you're doing. There's this one guy that works in the meat section that I heard like whistling the theme of anime called Bunny Girl Senpai, and I don't know if he's into anime or not, but I really want to ask him if he's into anime. I'm gonna like, I even went through it in my head and everything. I was like, I'm gonna ask this guy, hey, weird question, but do you watch anime? And then I planned it out, but obviously I never had the balls to, and also because he works in a different department, so I can't, like, the only times we'd meet is like actively walking past each other. So then even if he says yes, I'm gonna have to go because of my job. So it's just finding the right opportunities to be able to talk as well. But on another socializing note, I'm going tomorrow to watch a anime movie with my friends called Belle. That's gonna be pretty fun. We're gonna have dinner, play at the arcade, make up for all the holidays that we've been inside doing nothing. So yeah, that's gonna be really cool. And hopefully I can practice my socializing skills there, I guess. But you know, they're my friends. We vibe pretty well, so it's all good. And set two more things. One more is that I'm going to try and at my work to be able to add people on social media and like my work friends. So then I don't know how I'm going to bring that up because it's a bit awkward considering that like work is meant to be separate from personal thing, I guess. But that's why I have to become good enough friends so then they give me their friend request, right? Because there was this one girl that I worked with for a few months and she still works there now, but it was just me bringing it up wasn't like the right time, and we weren't like at the level of closeness that like warranted that, and so I misread the situation a little bit. But yeah, I mean, all's well that ends well, I guess. She's fine, I'm fine. And yeah, I'll start off with a male friend first, because that's who I'm more comfortable asking.